Shalom. Welcome to GMS Gals on the Streets. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Badashua, who I worship. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this word in sincerity and in truth and who rule well. I'm Elder Sakaran, and today I'm going into this these pagan feasts and festivals that are being celebrated in certain parts of the world to commemorate the closure of this winter season. All right, these celebrations go back thousands and thousands of years back. All right, and they do it to commemorate certain gods. Because they believe in multiple gods for each season and for different things. Okay, they have something called pantheism. Pan meaning many, and theo means God. So many gods. The Romans had a pantheon. A temple where everyone and their mother living in Rome, all right, no matter what nation they are, they can go to this pantheon, this temple, and they'll find their God there. This is synonymous to America. America kind of follows or kind of has its traditions based upon a lot of these Roman traditions, and the Romans, they picked up their traditions from other nations' traditions. All right, so it's like a smorgasbord of traditions and gods, and this is exactly what the Heavenly Father was speaking of, man. That there's only one God, there's only one power, man. His name is Yahweh, and He has his chosen only begotten Son, our Savior, that He gave all power to, whose name is Yahweh Shai. Those are the only ones that we're supposed to worship. All right, and their ways and their words are contained in the Holy Bible. No other book. So you have a lot of Israelites that take part of this celebration. You got the you got like things like you got different celebrations for different seasons and festivals, that Israelites get all up into, like Carnival, right? Mardi Gras. All of this is, I believe, in celebration of the god Bacchus. Now, I read this. This is from RT, what you're seeing right here, and it's a freakish celebration, man. All right, freakism, because freakism, that's the way of the world, man. Sex rights, homosexual celebrations all throughout the world, man, and this been going on. This ain't nothing new. Remember, there's nothing new under the sun. Pursuant to Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter and the 9th verse, there's nothing new. So this is all old, but it's been going on for a long time. But it's getting worse. All right, freakism is at an all-time high. Confucianism is at an all-time high. And what I mean by Confucianism, well, a man that fucking thinks that he's a woman. And he's so possessed by these demons of him thinking that he's a woman that he'll actually go ahead and chop off his rod, all right, and push his shit in, all right, and then from that point I don't know what else they do, all right, but with all that being done, I don't give a shit how you alter your body. If you were born a man, you are a man, and that's disgusting. It's sinful. All right, and it's worthy of the judgment of Most High. All right, and that's what's coming. These are the things that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. Nothing different, but things are worse now. You see, things are worse because of technology. You know. So anyway, as you see here, the title of this article, and I got it from RT, is Venus de Milo. All right. Now I heard of that's like a play on the terminology of Venus de Milo or something like that. You can look that up. But they call this article here. The title of it is Penis de Milo, a phallic, which a phallic is a penis, and the Freemasons, they worship the penis as the generating principle of life, they call it. And a phallic symbol would be like your Washington Monument, all right? Another name for it is an obelisk. The Egyptians were heavy into it, and anybody who praises the Egyptians, well, you praise homosexuality, because that's what they were into, man. All right, they got statues of penises erected throughout the whole world. And the Roman Catholics, man, at the Vatican, right, in their courtyard, they have a phallic symbol. They got an obelisk, which is a penis. And if you want me to get gangster with it, all right, in layman's terms for today, a dick, right, in the middle of their courtyard, and they supposed to be representing God, so to quote and unquote, right? They got a freaking obelisk in their courtyard, man. And throughout the world, in New York, I was with the other apostles yesterday, all right, and we went out, and Esau is setting up a lot of feudalistic things in the city, in Manhattan. All right, like you gotta pay for parking in certain areas where we used to park, where you didn't have to pay at one point, you know, and now you do. So, you know, so it's like, and you gotta pay like exorbitant fees, man, you know, just to go out there, man, and do what you gotta do. Well, with us, you know, we're preaching the word out there. So now, man, the Spirit came down, you know, upon our apostle, elder apostle Tahar, man, to be like, man, fuck Manhattan, man, fuck where we're going to, because we can still preach this word. Through the power of the unicorn, we are on a different level, man. We're on a different virtual level now of preaching this word. So the word, first of all, the word has gone out, and as it is written, the Lord's words do not go out in vain, you know. So it's too late. Esau cannot stop this. That great giant boulder, so to speak, has begun to roll down the hill, and you can't stop it. So yeah, they're doing a whole lot of shit, man. They're doing a lot of building, you know, a lot of building, and they're leaning towards that whole smart city thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's not the topic that I wanted to get into. I just brought that out because I had to. So now, going going back to this, it says penis de malo, phallic parade, which translates to a dick parade, honors ancient Greek god of fertility and wine making. So these festivals and these feasts these pagan feasts have been going on for a long time, man. A lot of these cultures and nations, they throughout time, they incorporated these feasts with Christianity. You know, with they try to mingle this with the scriptures. That's where you get all these crazy religions today, especially the Catholic religion, all right, the Roman Catholic religion. And many others. This article here has a video. I'm going to play it for you, and then I'll go back to reading the article. Some sick shit. Look at this, man. This is some demonic. That's a demon right there, man. Look at it. That's Dionysus. That was the end of that video. You see how demonic that was? You saw how demonic that was, right? Had dudes with their rod effigies, and you got this woman here. You got a big ass dildo in the middle, and they're dancing around it. It's sick shit, man. All right. And you got a lot of Israelites, you see, that are within these countries, and even here in America, to celebrate this shit, man. A lot of times they do it in secret, you know, and they perform homosexual and lesbianic acts. Lesbianic, I just coined that phrase. You can use it if you want. Now let's go and read this article here. All right, and then I got some scriptures lined up, and you can build upon this video, brothers. You know, as I always say, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, so that you always know when I upload these videos. Okay. And I hope you are edified by these videos in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakadash. All right, so it says revelers brought the winter festival season to a close in Athens with a penis-themed with a penis-themed celebration of Dionysus, the Greek god of wine and fertility. Greek culture, and this is the reason why there was such a beef between the Israelites in Jerusalem and the Israelites of the known world that were calling themselves Greeks, because those Israelite foreigners amongst the Greeks, amongst the Edomites that were calling themselves Greeks, they were celebrating these festivals, man, to Dionysus, and they were all into homosexuality and pedophilia and lesbianism, man. They ain't nothing new. All right, that's nothing new, man. And so, but among it's just like America, man. You got America. In America, you got straight people, and then you got crooked ass people. What I mean by crooked is homosexual people, right? Now, that don't mean you got homosexuals in America. That don't mean everybody in America are homosexuals, right? You got straight people, man. You got what is called heterosexual people, man. Who are straight, right? And they don't believe in that shit. You know what I mean? So back then, you had the same thing. You had brothers, Israelites, man, that believed in Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, and they were straight, and they were living amongst these freaks, and they would speak against them and fights and brawls, because of a clash of beliefs, right, would take place out in the streets, man. And so these type of effects were happening, man, for many years, man. Even during the time of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's why the Lord said to go out there, man, to the streets, man. Because that's where these people do the majority of their events at, and spread this freakism at, man. Out there in the streets, out there in the world, man. So you gotta go out there to preach the word, man. To make sure that you capture the minds of the elected, chosen people of the Lord, man, to come in and to get away from that mentality, that freakism, Now, it says, Greek culture has presented the world many gifts. Yeah, and then the Romans adopted a lot of the Greek cultures, and even became worse with it, all right? It says, Greek culture has presented the world many gifts, from democracy to sculptures like the Venus de Milo, right? See, Venus de Milo. Jim Carrey back in the day, he was in a show called In Living Color, and I believe he did a skit called Venus de Milo, which was a freaking transvestite, I believe that was the name. It was a funny skit, and anyway, it says Greek culture has presented the world many gifts, from democracy to sculptures like the Venus de Milo. Now witness the unusual and raucous party for a god you may never have heard of, Dionysus, which we have heard of Dionysus before. It says hundreds of festival goers donned fake penises and masks in honor of the deity, a fake deity, of course, who in Greek mythology is said to have been the product of Zeus' relationship with a mortal woman. The yearly festival usually involves lashings of wine, dancing, as well as theatrical plays in the Greek capital. Footage of the unusual event reveals how revelers enjoying the night out paraded through the historical center of Athens, chanting and carrying large phallic objects, which once again, phallic means penises or a dick objects, right? The parade took place near Monastiraki train station before traveling up the hill of the Muses. You see, you brothers got to start. Not that it's all bullshit, right? But to understand the world you live in today, you have to understand the world they lived yesterday. All this mythology and shit, these you gotta understand, man. A lot of these people, they're pagan, and they really believe in this shit, man. They'll die for this mythology bullshit. And if you got into this mythology, I got into studied a little bit on it, then it'll broaden your understanding on how and why people celebrate the things they do today. Understand? To let you know how much bullshit there it is. All right. It says and why it is imperative for you to go out there, man, and teach the word of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah to our people, man, to get them away, get their mind away from this bullshit. All right. It says the parade took place near Monastiraki train station before traveling up the hill of Muses. Look up Muses. It goes into Greek mythology. I'll give you a hint. That's where they get the word music or musicians from. All right. Where the famous Acropolis, as well as the former prison of Socrates, is located. Now they're showing you some pictures here. You know, they're showing you some pictures here captured by drones. It said penis-themed procession. 11 scariest things caught by drones. It's showing a big ass, I guess, big ass penis or something. You know, that's some other bullshit. All right. I guess that was it. I'm dealing with what I was dealing with. Yeah. So, you know, you could look more into this. Now give me a second. I have an article here. I got something. I pulled up something on Dionysus. And if I didn't, I'll look it up now. All right? Give me a second. All right. So what you're seeing now is some idols or statues of Bacchus. But Bacchus is another name, I believe, for Dionysus. This is from Wikipedia. Let's go into it. So it says Dionysus or Dionysus, right? Shows you the Greek character, and you brothers, it'll be good, you know. It has nothing to do with salvation, but you know, if you want to extend your enlightenment or whatever, man, you know, and your knowledge, you know, I don't know, go learn the Greek alphabet, you know, so that way you when you see these definitions in Greek or in Latin or whatever, you further understand it or whatever. It's not you know, like Paul said, man, all things are lawful but not expedient. You know, it's not expedient to our salvation. That's just, I'm just, you know, letting you know it is good, you know, to know it. Because we have an unction from the Holy One, and we're supposed to know all things, right? That's why I said it. It says Dionysus or Dionysus. is the god of the grape harvest, wine making and wine of ritual madness, fertility, theater, and religious ecstasy. In ancient Greek religion and myth, wine played an important role in Greek culture. That's not saying that drinking wine is evil, brothers. It's just these people, they really got into, there was a god for everything, man. You know, there was a god for if their dog took a doo doo on the side of the road or something. There's a god for that. This is how these motherfuckers thought, man. All right, pagans, man, heathens, and Israelites followed after this bullshit, man. All right. It says, wine played an important role in Greek culture, and the cult of Dionysus was the main religious focus for its unrestrained consumption. His worship became firmly established in the 7th century BC. He may have been worshipped as early as which circa means around or approximately 1500 to 1100 BC by Mycenaean Greeks. Traces of Dionysian type cult have also been found in ancient Minoan Crete. His origins, and we know there were Israelites in Crete because Paul visited Crete, right? And on his journeys, his origins are uncertain, and his cults took many forms. Some are described by ancient sources as Thracian, others as Greek. In some cults, he arrives from the east as an Asiatic foreigner, in others from Ethiopia in the south. He is a god of Epiphany, the god that comes, and his foreignness as an arriving outsider god may be inherent and essential to his cults. He is a major popular figure of Greek mythology, even up to this day, of Greek mythology and religion, becoming increasingly important over time and included in some lists of the 12 Olympians as the last of their number. And you're starting telling me, man, that it was Israelite, it was niggas that created all this bullshit, man. Now I have no proof, but Jake, when it comes to storytelling, they are the kings of this shit. All right, but something telling me, man, it was niggas amongst these Greeks that came up with all this bullshit, man. 12 Olympians, all this craziness, right? It says, as the last of their number and the only god born from a mortal mother. Now, that reminds me of something. What does that remind you of? I'm gonna leave you with that. You can leave your comments below, or what they try to incorporate with. It says his festivals were the driving force behind the development of Greek theater. Dionysus, god of the vine, grape harvest, wine making, ritual madness. Yeah, like homosexual ritual madness, religious ecstasy, and theater. Now look at this. They're showing a homosexual statue or false god with a small ass penis, and he looks like a metrosexual, homosexual, androgynous, half man, half woman statue, man. They worship these gods to this very day, man. All right. It says 2nd century Roman statue of Dionysus after a Hellenistic model. Yeah, because the Romans, that's why they call it the Greco-Roman. It was the Romans who they followed they incorporated a lot of the Greeks traditions, man, and culture. All right, because they're the same people, the Edomites, man. All right. The abode of Dionysus, Mount Olympus, symbol, uh, Thyrsus, grapevine, leopard skin, panther, tiger, cheetah. And then it goes on and on and on. Some bullshit there or whatever. They got something here. Marble sarcophagus with the triumph of Dionysus and the seasons. Roman, you can look that up, you know, or you don't, or maybe you don't have to. All right, I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying, you know, just so that you know, extend your knowledge or whatever of this bullshit. That's all I'm saying. It says the earliest cult images of Dionysus show a mature male, bearded and robed. He holds a fennel staff tipped with a pine cone, known as Thyrsus. Later images show him as a beardless, sensuous, naked or half-naked faggot shit, androgynous. You see, I just mentioned that androgynous youth. Now, in the early what 70s, man, late 70s, you had all these artists coming up, man, like Prince, Michael Jackson, my man Rick James. All these dudes were androgynous in their style, man. You know, they were, you know, like dressed like half men and half women, man. You know what I'm saying? And Esau made them do that. They sold out. And Esau made them do that because these are the gods that Esau worships, man. So in order to make it in this world, you gotta sell out. You gotta become androgynous, man. If you're a woman, then you gotta make yourself look like a man, and you gotta lay down with women. If you're a man, you gotta make yourself look like a woman, and lay down and lay down with men. Now I don't know if I said that backwards. In other words, if you're a woman in this world, you got to lay down with other women. All right? Lesbianism. If you're a man, you got to lay down with other men. Homosexualism. If you want to be successful in this paganistic world that we live in. All right? It says, later images show him as a beardless, sensuous, naked or half-naked, androgynous youth. The literature describes him as womanly or man-womanish. What the fuck is that? That's called transsexualism, man. Transvestite, transsexuals. See? So all this shit is happening today is nothing new, except it's at an all-time high because now doctors have the technology to actually make a man into a woman by giving him, by plastic surgery, man, right? Giving him breast, giving him a vagina, right? In its fully developed form, his central cult imagery shows his triumphant, his triumphant, disorderly arrival or return, as if from some place beyond the borders of the known and civilized. His procession, Dionysus, is made up of wild female followers, maenads, and bearded satyrs with erect penises. That's why I showed you that video. That's why they were parading with erect penis effigies on themselves. Some are armed with the thyrsus. Some dance or play music. The god himself is drawn in a chariot, usually by exotic beasts such as lions or tigers, and is sometimes attended by a bearded, drunken Silenus. You can look up Silenus. I don't know what that is. This procession is presumed to be the occult model for the followers of his Dionysian mysteries. Dionysus is represented by city religions as the protector of those who do not belong to conventional society, and he thus symbolizes the chaotic, dangerous, and unexpected everything which escapes human reason and which can only be attributed to the unforeseeable action of the gods. Here we go. He is also known as Bacchus. The name adopted by the Romans. You see, the Romans took their culture and tradition but changed the names around. Same thing happened today here in America, man. Same gods, different names, all right? Jesus Christ, Santa Claus, all right? The Virgin Mary, shit like that. And the frenzy he induces is Bacchia. His thyrsus, sometimes wound with ivy and dripping with honey, is both a beneficent wand and a weapon used to destroy those who oppose his cult and the freedoms he represents. Ooh, which brings in the whole culture of the New World Order and the beast system, incorporating the mark of the beast. Anybody who opposes it, goes against it, they're gonna want to destroy. So anybody who believes in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna want to destroy, right? Destroy them. As Eleutherios, the liberator, his wine, music, and ecstatic dance free his followers from self-conscious fear and care. And so that goes to the Aleister Crowley belief of do as thou wilt. And subvert. A lot of these rappers believe in Aleister Crowley, man. Do as thou wilt, man. Right? Once they make it in this system, they become homosexuals. That's how they make it. They sell out, right? So fuck them niggas, man. And subvert the oppressive restraints of the powerful. Those who partake of his mysteries are possessed and empowered by the God himself. The cult of Dionysus is also a cult of the souls. His maniacs feed the dead through blood offerings. He acts as a divine communicant between the living and the dead. He is sometimes categorized as a dying and rising God. Oh man, this is why a lot of people think that the story of Yahweh Shai is fake, because they think that the story of Yahweh Shai was put together by all this mythological bullshit. It's not that. It's that they took a lot of these people who came up with this word, niggas, were Israelites that knew of the you know, the law of Moses and all that, and the holy scriptures, and they incorporated it with they try to add this bullshit with it. All right, that's what's going on. It says, let me see, where am I? Right. In Greek, because he is sometimes categorized as a dying and rising God. That you know of the story of Yahweh Shai, how he was sacrificed. He was crucified. I'm sorry, crucified. All right, and he rose on the third day, according to the scriptures, right? And so that's why when people read this, they say that the Bible was tampered with and fake. It's not that. It's that these people, this was known already that our Lord would come and do this. It was these people put this story. They took that from the Holy Scriptures and incorporated it into their bullshit. Okay. It says in Greek mythology, he is presented as a son of Zeus. So in other words, Dionysus they'll say would be representative or represent like something like our Lord Yahweh Shai, or what the world called Jesus Christ. Zeus being the most high, right? That's Yahweh. And Dionysus is Yahweh Shai. his only begotten son. All right. That's how they'll try to, that's how I know that in this Greek mythology, the people who came up with this Greek mythology, the majority of these Greek mythologies were Israelites. They try to incorporate the scriptures into their mythology. All right. In Greek mythology, he is presented as a son of Zeus and the mortal simile, thus semi-divine or heroic. All right, and that's why they had in the middle and the Dark Ages they had the whole I guess during the rule of Constantine, and all that, they had they had certain councils, man. You had the Council of Trent, you had another council, and it was all to prove the divinity of Yahweh Shai, if he was divine or not, because they were confused because of all these other mythical stories, man, that they knew of. All right, the son is similar to the story of Yahweh Shai. All right, but the truth is that they bit and got that from the Lord, from his holy text. All right, and they try to they based their mythologies from our holy scriptures, man. That's what happened. And it says, in Greek mythology, he is presented as a son of Zeus and the mortal simile, thus semi-divine or heroic, and as son of Zeus and Persephone or Demeter, thus both fully divine, part chthonic, and possibly identical with Iacchus of the Eleusinian mysteries. And you can look that up. I don't know what the hell that is. Some scholars believe that Dionysus is a syncretism of a local Greek nature deity and a more powerful god from Thrace or Phrygia. So in these places, Thrace and Phrygia, you had Israelites there because Paul visited these places, such as Sabasios or Zalmoxis. Like to bring out some scriptures. All right, let's go to Exodus, the 20th chapter, the first verse. And the Most High Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, Yahweh, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Yeah, it wasn't Bacchus and it wasn't Dionysus that brought you out of the land of Egypt. All right, out of the house of bondage, because the Egyptians, the freaking Hamites, the Philistines had us in bondage, man, for a period of 400 years. Thou shalt have no other powers or gods before me. Bacchus, Dionysus, those are other gods, man. And there's a lot of Israelites to this day that celebrate festivals honoring Bacchus and Dionysus. Hence, you got Carnival, right? I believe the Brazilians were celebrated. You got Jamaicans that celebrated, West Indians that celebrated. You got people down there in Louisiana that celebrate it, man. You got the Mardi Gras, right? And the women, they dress butt ass naked, man, with body paint on them, walking around with their coochie hanging out, man. All right, honoring these gods. All right, the smelly coochies hanging out. It says, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Bacchus and Dionysus are other gods before the Lord. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, right? Statues. Graven means to be cut out, carved out. Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth, right? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy power, Yahweh, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. And us, we in GMS, we are part of those thousands that he is showing mercy unto, that love him and keep his commandments. All right. And one of the commandments is that we shall have, that we just read it, that we shall have no other gods before him, man. So ain't no Israelite out there that's supposed to be worshiping these other gods. And if you worship these holidays here in America, that's exactly what you're doing. You're worshiping other gods, man. The celebration of Easter, the celebration of Christmas, all right, all these freaking celebrations, you're worshiping other gods, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you're doing it. But that's why we're out there to tell you that is wrong. Excuse me, that is wrong, and to stop doing it, man. It's just that simple. But niggas, they're so proud in their wickedness, man, and they love it so much that they refuse. So that's why when the Lord comes with his judgment, you're not to pity them. You're not to pity these niggas, these people. All right? Because they're evil and they're wicked. And they deserve death. They deserve death. That's right. Because you refuse to honor the God of the living, whose name is Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai, our Savior, man. Okay? I had another scripture lined up. Let me see. First Peter's 4. 1 Peter 4 verse 1. It says, "For as much then as Yahweh Shai has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin." So if you're suffering, be happy, man. If you're suffering in the flesh, be happy. Be glorious that you're suffering, man. Because guess what happened, man? You have ceased from sin. You there's a sure place for you in the time of salvation, man, from the great destruction. Second verse. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men. And the part of the lust of the flesh is these celebrations, man. The ending of the winter season, celebrating and honoring Bacchus and Dionysus with phallic symbols and homosexualness and all this pervertfulness, man. All right, all that bullshit. That has nothing to do with the Lord, man. So if you were out there in the world doing all this shit, and stop it, come back there, come back to the Lord, man. Because that's all bullshit. Okay, there ain't no good in those things, or salvation in that wickedness, man. All right, convert your souls, man, and come back to the only one in true living power, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai, who he has set up and given all power to save us, man. All right, in the time of judgment. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of Yahweh, of the Most High. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And it reads, third verse, "For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles." Right. The Gentiles is the Edomites and the other nations worshiping these phony gods. Bacchus, right? And Dionysus. And every year celebrating these fertility rites and sacrifices, man. Honoring these phony gods, right? The same thing is happening now with Christmas, Easter, right? And whatever other so-called bullshit holidays they got out there, all right? It's all bullshit. When we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, right? Keep in mind that Dionysus was the god of fertility and the god of winemaking, revelings, going up the streets, wearing effigies of penises on you, parading yourselves to honor these phony gods, banquetings, right? Having parties to honor these phony gods, man, right? And abominable idolatries, right? Worshiping the gods of Dionysus and Bacchus and all these other gods of fertility and homosexuality, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you, right? That was talking about back then. You had Israelites doing these celebrations to these gods of fertility and of wine, and they out there running amok, all right, acting like faggots out in the streets. And once you came, and them brothers back then that came into the faith of Yahweh, once they stopped doing all that bullshit, their friends in the world started speaking evil of them. That's synonymous to today. Once you come into the faith, you believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, you stop worshiping Christmas. You stop following that bullshit. You stop following worshiping Easter, and Halloween and all this bullshit. So now your friends and your family will start speaking evil of you, man, as if something wrong with you, as if you're some kind of pagan. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. And it says, 4th verse, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot. Right, you're not part of that world, man. Right? Once you come into the faith, you leave that world alone, speaking evil of you, and then ultimately they just cut your ass off, man. Who shall who shall give account of who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, which being dead goes to Proverbs 21:16, that he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the spirit. And that's why you gotta cut off this world, man. Because although the world cut you off because you're not dealing no more with that bullshit anymore, you're dead to the world, but you're alive to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is more important, because that great and notable day is coming, where the Lord is coming to destroy this whole world, man. I'm sorry, to bring destruction to Esau and his world, mainly America, to burn it with fire by way of nuclear destruction. And you want to be saved from it, man. Your family, your children. Now, your children and your family can be saved, even if they are unbelievers, because it explains that in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, man. Okay. So that's up to the Lord. Judgment belongs to Him. Pray that they be saved, man. Cornelius and his whole household, Yahweh said that Cornelius and his whole household will be saved. Now, ain't nothing for the righteousness that his household did, but for the righteousness that Cornelius did and showed, right? Also, Noah, his whole household was saved, not for the righteousness that his household did, but for his righteousness, right? All right, so all I'm saying is that, look, man, you got family, you got children, you got wives, or whatever. They could be saved, Like I said, in childbearing, they got children by you or whatever, and they did right by you, they could be saved, if they're Israelites, man. So that remains up to the Lord, man, okay? But you got to make sure that your foundation is sure, man, unto salvation. So now you can read that. You can read on that if you want for yourself. But pretty much, I'm closing out this lesson, and I hope that it was edifying, and you could build on this. You brothers got to start building on these videos, man. That apostles and elders make, man, and other teachers make, build on them, man. You know, because that'll build your spirit and your understanding too. All right. So with that, this has been another lesson from GMS Battles on the Streets. I'm Elder Sakaran, signing off. Shalom to all the elect throughout the world, preaching in sincerity and in truth, man, and holding on to dear life until the end. Shalom.